Hey guys, Tarke here, and I am going to be covering the topics for Baeclast, which will be happening this Saturday. Again, we're having a summoner-specific themed episode to celebrate the end of October and all that spoopy times. We're going to be joined by Uber this time, and Octavian can't make it as he's going to a family wedding. So I hope you have an amazing time, Octavian. Let's get into the topics. So we always have the brief kind of what's everyone been up to, briefly chat builds, IRL, whatever. Just kind of ease into the show. We're then going to be talking about specific summoner builds, both old and new. This is kind of just going to be like, how do you feel about the current state of these builds? Have they held up? So SRS expect a lot of baby rage from Rise about the state of SRS currently. Herald of Agony. Herald of Agony is like the new Ellie hit, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of like talk there. Then going more specifically into like Solar Guards, how Solar Guards have dominated Spectres for such a long period of time. Do we feel like, you know, GGG should maybe like reorganize Spectres? Because since usually what happens is kind of like there'll be a new minion type. If that minion type is the new best, it will just forever be the best until a new minion type comes out like 3 years later. Uber's been doing a lot with golems recently, so I'm sure there'll be some golem knowledge bombs. Then we'll talk about some more specific, unique stuff, so like Dancing Duo, Chains, Soul Rest, that side of things. Animate Weapon. Animate Weapon just seems to be a constant headache. Does it even really have a place in current PoE? Does GGG even want Animate Weapon in current PoE? Because it seems like every league just fucks on Animate Weapon. Then just kind of a fun question. What minion has the best single target? Then what minion has the best clear speed? I'm kind of curious to see how the guys will argue differently on that, since, you know, Herald of Agony is pretty insane, but then, you know, TV Spectres, Skellies are also pretty insane, so kind of see what happens there. Then we'll talk about more like general design side of things, so AI clunkiness versus build strength. We touched on this a little bit last time, but we didn't go full in there. Since we're going more summoner specifically focused, we're going a bit more in depth on that kind of thing. And then this is like which we got from chat, which I actually really like, was what weaknesses should minions have if not their AI? I think that's really cool. Talk about the ascendancy dependency, how a lot of builds feel shoehorned into just being Necro, but recently that started to expand into Occultist. We've now seen changes with Guardian, Pathfinder, and then one thing which is kind of interesting, especially with Herald of Agony, when you have such overpowered skills, how they can be played on anything. You're seeing like Herald of Agony Glads with 0 minion nodes kind of thing, you know. What type of minion behavior do you like in PoE that doesn't currently exist? That could be the future minion skills, maybe new Spectre types, basically like what's kind of missing, which would help round it out the package a little bit. Then talk a little bit about pseudo minions. I wanted to put a little bit of totem talk in there because, you know, I feel like totems don't get enough rep, but I'm not going to do a whole episode on just totems. So we'll talk a little bit about totems, so we'll talk a little bit about Mirage Archer, because Mirage Archer is basically a minion. Talk a bit about AI darkness and minions, specifically also going into totems and stuff. And then also just talk generally about how GGG's have had a real focus on non-permanent minions recently. So, you know, Herald of Agony is a great example of that, Mirage Archer is a great example of that, so on and so forth. Then we'll go into the more utility side of things. So this could be something which, even if you're not into minion builds themselves, you might find this interesting with how, you know, you can play with minion utility skills in non-summoner characters, so like offerings. In fact, you're seeing some like weird Necro Scion like hybrid builds pop up every now and again. Talk about Convocation, because Convocation always has to be talked about. Spiritual Aid and Spiritual Command. If you don't know, Spiritual Aid and Spiritual Command are kind of like the best nodes in the game currently, and how you're just having these crazy general nodes which just work in every single build. We'll also expand that a little bit to stuff like Ancestral War Chief being in every single melee build, Loreweave, Impulsor, and Series Promise. Just kind of like that be-all, end-all, this is the thing you just put in your build. How do we feel like that's something we really want more of in PoE? And then going into the final bit on that thing is, do we want minions to have a place in all builds? You know, there's always that constant push of utility minions, golems, anime, Guardian, then, you know, you have the weird hybrid kind of stuff through, you know, the little Healy Holy Relic dude. You have some people doing, like, Spellcast and Necros using zombies for physical mitigation, Frenzy Apes, just kind of like the more generally kind of stuff. Then we always have a little off-topic discussion, and one thing that's going to be new that I'm going to try for a couple of episodes just to kind of feel it out when I start up Baeclast about an hour before I do a tweet saying, hey, pre-show is up, and I stream for an hour doing just setup stuff before the show, on that tweet that I send out, I will collect questions. So if you want to watch Baeclast live, or you watch it, you know, later on, make sure you follow me on Twitter. And if you have any like questions, like, oh, I really want to ask, you know, a specific person like Raiz, what's just your general thought on this? Not like massive things. So don't be like, hey guys, what do you feel about MF? Because that's the whole episode. But just like small little fun things. I'll try that. If there are any good questions, I'll ask them. If there are no good questions, I'll just gloss over it. And I'll try it for 2 or 3 episodes. If it's good, I'll keep it. If it's not good, I won't. So follow me on Twitter. And again, time will be in description. It will be 2 p.m. UK time Saturday coming, which happens to be, you know, 2 days, 2 hours from the recording of this video. I'm Tarke. Have a good day. Bye-bye.